Okay, this lighting is terrifying. Holy God. I'm scared. But that's okay. I have a spray tan drying, so do not judge the way that I look at this moment. You guys already know that I can look hot, and that's on period. We don't have to go through that again. We already know that Morgan Shay can look hot. So I'm going to tell you guys this story time. You guys actually voted for this story time like, oh my God. It was around December because I remember I was going to tell it on Christmas. And Christmas had a turn of events where, oh my God. Award goes to for the best boyfriend of the year. Take a tip here, Streamies. Yeah, in my wildest dreams, I'll ever get a Steamy Award or Streamy Award. That's perfect, yeah. Anyways, Christmas 2021 took a weird turn because I went through a breakup and I had a new boyfriend on Christmas, and we decided to stay in a ratchet-ass motel for 5 days, and we spent it in literally Christmas in this motel. So I took a poll on Instagram like 2 days before that and was like, do you guys want this story time? It's fucking crazy. Let me shut my door, because if my mom hears this story, she's going to literally have a heart attack. By the way, I'm sitting on a goddamn towel right now. My spray tan is drying. Do not judge. You guys already know I can look hot.
Don't judge.
Everybody, if you want to be entered into a giveaway, use hashtag FuckJP in the comment section.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this story time goes back to when I was wild, careless, and on drugs. And I had just been introduced to heroin, like very freshly introduced, and I was like a whole other level of crazy. Also, I would mix it with heroin or with Xanax. So if you are not familiar with the drug world, don't get introduced to it. That is a form of speedballing. So you're literally giving yourself a fucking heart attack. It's crazy, it's stupid, I don't know, idiotic. Anyways, I was probably 24 or 25 at the time, somewhere in that general area. And as most of you guys know from my previous story times, when I was on drugs, I was really good at like playing men. I could get them to do whatever I wanted. It was no big deal. And a friend of mine had like hit me up, and she was like, hey, there is this huge party at the Moose. And so let me explain what the Moose is. So in East Tennessee, where I grew up in Halls, like Maynardville, Powell area, there is Norris Lake. And on Norris Lake is the Moose. It's like a hidden area where everybody goes to party. It's a lot of fucking fun. Anyways, I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. I'm down. So we didn't have a car or a ride. So I ended up hitting up this person, which I need to do a whole story time on him. He was a sugar daddy I had. And the only reason I haven't done a story time on him is because he was actually a genuinely nice person who didn't like ask me ever to do anything crazy. So I need to do a story time on him. But anyways, I call him and he's like, yeah, come and get my Chevy Malibu. At the time, it was brand new. This is probably like 2014, 2015, and it was brand fucking new. I went and got the car. He gave me $500 cash. It was crazy. And we go to the Moose. So on the way to the Moose, we stopped at the liquor store in Halls. If you're from that area, shout out to Halls Crossroads Liquor Store. We stop there. We get some Patron. We get some Jaeger, some Red Bull, and we head to the Moose. Now, people call it the Moose because a guy tripped on LSD in the 80s and claimed he seen a moose. Guys, there are no fucking mooses in East Tennessee, but this man like tripped and said he seen a moose, so everybody calls it the Moose. Anyways, we go. We're having so much fun. Everybody that we know's there, and then all of a sudden, this guy that I have beef with shows up. Now, let me give a little bit of backstory. So the reason that me and this man have beef, or this boy have beef, is because he literally was an abusive person to my best friend at the time. So me and him had beef. And here's the thing about drug abusing Morgan is I was fucking 12 feet tall and bulletproof. I would go to a 7 foot tall man and punch him in the face. I had literally no care of who the person was, how old they were, whatever. And even back then, I loved me a zaddy. If you do not know what the definition of a zaddy is, it's someone 40 years or older and they're hot. Okay? Period. Period. If you don't know what a zaddy is, get it together, bitch. So, hey, you guys. So, anyways, this fucking zaddy had, JP is a zaddy, yes. So, this man had walked in. I'm saying walk in. It was a fucking piece of land. But this guy had like walked into my vision and he was probably like 45. So hot. Like driving a Camaro. Like fucking dark black hair. His accent was hot because it was like Italian. Like I was into it. It was a vibe. And at this point, I'm probably like a half of a bottle of Patron in. I'm feeling the vibes that are being set off right now. And so I'm like leaning into it. I'm like, you know, hi, my name's Morgan, you know, just fucking doing the most. And fast forward, this guy who I have beef with walks in. Now, here's the thing about drug addicted Morgan is I could get men to do literally whatever I wanted to. And this zaddy, which that's what we're going to call him the rest of this video. We're just going to call him zaddy. I had explained to him what this guy had done. So basically, he had held my friend hostage in a fucking closet and had really badly beaten her. So fucked up. It was all over drugs. And she had called me and I had came to the rescue with 2 of our other friends and like rescued her. So when I see this motherfucker walking my vision, I'm like, okay, this piece of shit's here. I explain it to Zaddy, you know, what's going on. And all of a sudden, this piece of shit walks over to a very young girl and starts hitting on her. Now, the only reason that I knew this girl's age is because I graduated with her oldest brother. And keep in mind, at the time, I'm probably 24, 25. She's probably 16 or 17 years old. She's a minor, okay? She is a minor, and she's there with all of her minor friends. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give this, like, whatever, description right now, like, fucking, you know, just saying, like, do I think that you should go out underage and get drunk? Absolutely fucking not. But when we lived in, like, a small town, like Halls, like, a lot of us, that's what we would go do. Was it the right thing to do or smart thing to do? Absolutely fucking not. But I'm just explaining to you guys the story. Don't do what this girl did at fucking 16 years old. Like going to a party where a bunch of fucking grown people are getting fucking shousted. Don't do that. But like, this just is for small towns. Like get stuff for fucking teenagers to do. Because they don't want to fucking go to the fucking skating rink. They don't. They want to do something more than that. So, come up with something. So, anyways, I see him talking to this underage girl. And her oldest brother that I graduated with is like across the way. And there's like a bonfire going on. And he's standing over there with his girlfriend. And so, I walk over to him. Let's call him Mark. And I'm like, hey, Mark, your sister is over there talking to a known abuser. And I tell him, like, who he abused. Mark knows that person, like, knows the whole story. And he's like, fuck that. And he starts running over. This zaddy that I've explained the whole story to is already over talking to this guy, like, telling this girl, like, run for the hills. This guy is a woman beater, like, get the fuck away. Blase, blase. Well, another very well-known thing that happens at East Tennessee hill parties or farm parties is, hold on, JP's putting on his neck brace, so if the lighting is weird right now, I'm sorry. Anyways, so another really like well-known thing that happens is like people will like sell moonshine out of the trunk of their cars or out of the bed of their truck. And one of my best friends, he'll be my best friend till I die. I've told his name in stories before. He's cool with it. His name's Eric. He used to go around to like all the parties and sell his dad's moonshine. He was there. He runs up, like it's now this whole thing where every guy that I know in the town I grew up in is now over there, like, telling this girl, like, get it together. Like, this guy's a piece of shit. And as most of us know, like, if you've ever been in a mentally, and here's the thing, like, this girl had just met this guy and she was already, like, under his spell. It's so crazy, like, how manipulative narcissistic abusers are. Fun fact, Gabby Hanna, like, actual narcissistic abusers, like, put you underneath a fucking spell. Like, you are unable to function. Like, it's crazy. This girl had met him and knew him for maybe a whole hour. And there was probably 12, 13 individuals standing around them being like, this guy's a piece of shit. Like, run for the hills. And she was like, no. Like, let me live my life. I'm grown. Like, full 16, 17-year-old girl. Like, no, like, I can make my own decisions, and this is my life. Quit trying to run my life. Like, and I'm like, bitch, you're fucking stupid. Literally, you guys, time goes on. This girl keeps fucking around with this fucking loser, and this zaddy that I had met, let's actually come up with a name for him. Let's call him Henry. That's very close to his actual name. He had asked me if I wanted to bring myself and a few of my friends to his boathouse. And I was like, okay, sure, why not? Like, that sounds like a great thing to do. I'm going to go to this man that I just met's boathouse with my friends. And so me and a bunch of my girlfriends and a couple of my guy friends, we go to this boathouse. And on our way out, one of the people who was going was that girl's brother, Mike. And so he walks back over to her and he's like, listen, I'm leaving. I'm going with Morgan to this person she just met's boathouse over here at the boat dock. Like, peace out. Do you want to go with us? Like, I would prefer you go with us. I would rather you not. Like, fucking leave with this fucking known woman abuser. And she's like, no, quit trying to make my life choices for me. I want to just make my own decisions. Like, full on, like, drunk high school bitch voice, like, high pitched, like, makes your fucking ears bleed type shit. And so we leave, and we're gone maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 hours. It was probably close to 6 o'clock in the morning at this point. And I remember that we were all sitting in a circle, and this is where the story gets interesting because we started eating shrooms. And at this point, I've now mixed tequila, whiskey, heroin, Xanax, and shrooms. Like, at this point, I'm fucked. I'm so messed up. I'm starting to hallucinate. Trees are starting to have arms. Headlights are eyeballs. Like, it's just so fucked up. And so we're sitting in the boat. We're just, like, hanging out or whatever. I don't really remember much other than when Mike got a phone call from his sister. Let's make her a name really quick. Let's call her, very close to her name, let's call her Ashley. So Mike gets a call from Ashley, his sister, and she is scream crying like, oh my God, you guys were right. He's got me held up against the wall. And, like, you can hear this motherfucker Henry in the background, or not Henry, Henry's zaddy. Her fucking, the abuser, Jason, we'll call him Jason. Because my fucking stepdad's brother was a woman beater and his name was Jason. So, fits the T. You can hear him in the background, like, saying, shut the fuck up, who you're on the phone with. And then all of a sudden you can hear, like, a smack, which now looking back, I know was like the phone probably hitting the floor. And you can hear, like, a distance, like, literally the whole way while he's tracking her, which, praise God for Find My iPhone, because had she not had Find My iPhone on, we would have never known where she was. This guy had ended up getting a new trailer house, and none of us knew where it was. So, because he had a restraining order, he couldn't be at so much, like, miles of the girl that he had gotten in all of his trouble with. So he had ended up getting a trailer. None of us knew where it was. Y'all, we drove for over an hour. It was in the middle of fucking nowhere, Gibbs, Tennessee. Which, if you're familiar with Luttrell at all, it is like the most fucking bodunk, fucking hick ass, stick ass fucking town in East Tennessee. It's just like endless fucking back roads that go forever. They're one lane, so if someone's coming around the curb, you have to stop and wait, or they have to stop and wait. It's just a fucking nightmare. But that's the way everybody drives in East Tennessee. Like when we were kids and shit and doing stupid shit, we would always take the back roads. So we finally get to where her Find My iPhone is located. And it's like, when you first pulled on the driveway, I just remember, and keep in mind that I am tripping balls. I'm on shrooms mixed with all kinds of other shit. So I am tripping ball sacks. And the thing about Morgan when she would trip ball sacks is, if I thought that I was 12 foot tall and bulletproof before, I'm now 20 foot tall and extremely bulletproof. Like, I will fuck your mom. Like, for sure. Like, I do not care. I will fight you and your whole family. Like, it's serious. So the whole time, my friend Mike, her brother, is amping me up. Like, the whole time. Like, getting me ready. My friend Brittany's in the passenger seat, and she's fucking amped and ready. Like, we're ready to turn the fuck up. We pull on this driveway, and it's just like grass. Like, that's all you can see. But the driveway is still going on. We probably go down this driveway. Like I said, I was on shrooms, but just to guesstimate, let's say maybe 2 football fields. And we finally see this gray trailer in the distance. And there's only one light in the trailer on. And we see Jason's truck in the driveway. So we know we're at the right place. And I just remember fucking Jason and this fucking old guy that I'm with. This fucking, what did I say his name was? Huh?
Henry?
No, that's not it. Maybe it was Henry. The Zaddy. We'll call him Henry if I wasn't before. They are walking towards the door. And I hear like not a gun, but like a wannabe gun is what it sounded like. It was like if you were to fire a gun and have like almost like it was silenced or muffled. It was very strange. And all of a sudden, there is a fucking hole this big in the fucking window of the trailer. This motherfucker was firing a gun. Later, we would find out it was one of those pocket pistols. It was like a little bitty fucking pocket pistol. That's why it sounded like bing, like it was fucking crazy. Anyways, I end up getting impatient, tired, and pissed off, and I just go and open the fucking door. I'm like, at this point, I'm not sitting out here all night waiting to see what happens. I bust in the fucking door. This fucking piece of shit Jason has her fucking hogtied in his bedroom. She's like bleeding from, this is like a trigger warning for sexual SA and just physical abuse. If you're triggered by that at all, click out of this video right now. But she was like hogtied. She was bleeding. It was, and y'all, I seen fucking red immediately. I seen red upon entry, bitch. I was so goddamn heated. I don't think fucking the Lord Jesus Christ himself could have stopped me from what happened next. According to my friends, I do not remember this night. There's like bits and pieces. I remember showing up and I remember leaving. But I apparently beat this motherfucker Jason to a pulp. I don't remember it, but apparently he had a cast iron skillet sitting on his stove. Which, as you guys know from previous story times, myself and cast iron skillets have a really rocky history with one another. It seems to be a go-to of mine. Love it. They should start using it Monday Night Raw. Anyways, I grabbed this cast iron skillet. I hit this guy. He fell over. We ended up getting his sister and leaving. And like the whole way home, like telling her, like, you stupid, stupid bitch. Like, we told you 500 times that this man was notorious for doing this when you don't do what he wants. And you were like, no, I'm just trying to live my life. I'm 17. I'm grown. Like, let me live. And here we are at fucking literally sunrise saving your ass in the middle of nowhere where there's no fucking service, fucking Luttrell. Which, if you're not from East Tennessee, do me a favor and just Google Luttrell. Just fucking Google Luttrell, Tennessee. Look at it on Google Maps and then come back and fucking tell me what you think. It is literally nothing but large pieces of fucking farmland and back roads. There is no fucking town or city. It's just fucking like little one-lane back roads and farms. That's quite literally it. But anyways, that is a story about the time that I beat a grown-ass man. It was absolutely crazy. I remember absolutely nothing of that. But like I always say in all of my story times, the reason that I tell them is because, sorry, my mom just texted me and that distracted me. The reason that I tell them is because, yes, they may be funny and they may be entertaining now. But looking back, that was actually pretty stupid and dangerous of me to even participate in. Not only that, but drug use is so stupid and dangerous. Number one, anymore, you don't even know exactly what you're taking. You could be taking like 5 different drugs at the same time and have absolutely no idea. So if you or someone you know is needing assistance with drug or alcohol abuse, please reach out to SAMHSA. You can literally Google it. It's SAMSHA. Just search that on Google. There's a hotline where they can speak to you and get you the help that you need. It is never a bad thing to admit that you have an issue with drugs or alcohol. That's always an okay thing. And if you feel like you need someone to talk to, you can always reach out to me at questionsforshay@gmail.com. That's questions, the number 4, Shay@gmail.com. I love you guys so much. Thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you guys are having a fantastic night. And until the very next time, bye bitches. Love you. Bye.